Hi, ladies. Today I have a very special guest with me, Nicola Ward, who is the Creative Director at Classroom of Hope. And I'm absolutely delighted to introduce her to you because Nicola is part of the reason why, when I say Nicola Classroom of Hope, is part of the reason why Motivated Mummy Entrepreneurship exists today. It's all about educating mums who are educating children, and that is the circle of life for us. So welcome, Nicola.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's so great to obviously chat to you face to face because I know that you're currently in Cambodia.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are. So a little disclaimer, I'm sorry if there's weird noises around me and things like that. You just take whatever good internet you can find when you're traveling.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. So, just a little bit of background. Motivated Mummy Entrepreneurship. All our members, donate monthly automatically through their membership to Classroom of Hope. I thought it would be really important, Nicola, for them to really get to know you because they're going to see a lot of you over the next few years. And tell us your story. How did you get to where you are today? How did you become the creative director at Classroom of Hope?
It's one of those things when you look back on, you kind of, how did I get here? How did this happen? But originally my background when I went to uni was I did a degree in English and I also did a degree in sociocultural anthropology. And I love English because in my heart, I think I've always been a writer. But anthropology just it piqued my interest straight away. I was obsessed with learning about new cultures and people and how they work and why do things operate so differently in certain parts of the world and, what motivates people. And I was fascinated by all of that right from the beginning. And then I went traveling when I finished uni and that passion, it really kept growing. And I thought, how can I weave this into my life in a way that I can use my writing and my love for culture and people, bridge them together in a sense. So I thought about journalism. So I went into a pretty intense program and I did a postgraduate degree in journalism. All the while in the back of my head thinking, I'm going to do something in the space of working in various countries, writing about people, helping people, connecting people. I didn't really know what it all looked like, but I just kind of thought, all right, if I go down this road, surely something has to come up eventually. Yeah. And then through my degree, my journalism degree, I ended up getting a placement, an on-air placement for sports media. I was working for the Canadian Football League, which was just so totally out of left field. And but it was an opportunity that I just couldn't pass up. To get an on-air position straight out of a journalism program is just unheard of. Mm-hmm. So two things totally changed. One, I was working in sports, which I totally never thought I would do. And then also I wasn't writing. I was on air, which was fine. I enjoyed it. And it was an amazing experience. And I gained a lot of confidence during that time, public speaking and, just having to think quickly and on my feet because a lot of what I did was live. But I was in that world for about 2 years before I thought, this is great and I'm gaining a lot out of it, but this isn't really what I sought out to do. So right around when all these feelings were creeping up about needing a change and needing to apply these skills to something that was a little bit more fulfilling for me and a little bit more meaningful for me, Duncan, who's now my husband, was a friend of mine at the time, and I'd met him traveling 4 years prior. We met on a bus in Laos, and I knew that he'd been working on this amazing project, Classroom of Hope, and it was very, very early days for him and this organization, and he actually invited me to see some of the work that he was doing in Cambodia. And I went, and so there were these two things happening. One was this blooming relationship between Duncan and myself. But then also, when we spent time together, we realized how much our skill sets really complemented one another and how much we could actually do together.
Yeah.
So I left Cambodia and I pretty much quit my job, got rid of my apartment in downtown Toronto, sold my car, packed up my life, and I moved to Australia to be with Duncan and to grow the organization with him. And
Amazing.
we've been working in it ever since.
That's fantastic. So how many years, from kind of the date, kind of Classroom of Hope opened or was founded? So how many years has it been running for?
It's actually, we're 4 years old this October.
Yeah.
But that being said, Duncan and I haven't actually been full-time in the organization for a full year yet. We'll be full-time this December. So for the first 3 years, we worked day jobs. And then did our, evenings and weekends for Classroom of Hope because we weren't actually receiving a salary for the first 3 years. So there was a lot of building before we got to this stage.
And I think a lot of our mums can relate to that, like entrepreneurs at the heart. Doing that juggle, I'm not even saying the family work juggle, the juggle of having their day job and trying to, really build their passion business and really what fulfills them and what's, what they want to do for the rest of their lives. So they can totally relate to that, 3 years of just trying to do everything. And now you're like, okay, both feet are in now, ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, I think when you're ready to take that full leap in. Because there's so much background work that goes in that people don't see or they don't know, and then but it takes a lot of time, especially when you have a family and a million things to juggle, for sure.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. That's brilliant. So tell us a little about, we're obviously going to be talking about projects next year for Motivated Mummy Entrepreneurship, and putting our funds together for this year and then going into next year. But what are you guys working on at the moment? What's actually happening in, like, say, for instance, the Cambodian community at the moment, and how are the partners helping you guys?
So we have 3 projects. So we do have one in Cambodia, we have one in Rwanda, and we have one in Indonesia. And in every country that we work, we partner with local NGOs. So Duncan and I don't actually implement the education projects. We pick best practice local NGOs who are amazing at what they do. Give them support. So in Cambodia, for instance, what we've seen and what we've come to understand is that they have some school structures, but the quality of the education is really poor, especially in rural communities. And the structures themselves are often dilapidated or moldy or just not an environment that you ever want to put your children in. So what we do is we partner with local NGOs to take these structures and these buildings from a dilapidated status up to what we call child-friendly status. And this is a UNICEF framework. So to reach child friendliness, there's all sorts of different qualities that they look at. So it's everything from gender equity to community involvement, teacher training, hygiene, sanitation. It's all sorts of different things. And we do 3-year programs with various schools and communities to get these schools up and running up to that level. And the goal is always that by the time we reach that 3-year mark, they're not only child friendly, but they're sustainable. So we can actually slowly move back away, and they actually just run.
That's awesome.
That's how we try to run things in Cambodia. And it's a little bit different in Rwanda, where we actually build schools from scratch. And then in Indonesia, we're doing English in the Village programs, which is all about teaching kids English.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's brilliant. So how often are you traveling at the moment? Like, where are you spending most of your time? Because I think you were in Indonesia recently. Now you're in Cambodia. I think you're back in Perth. How's the travel working?
Well, the one thing that really works for both Duncan and I is that we love it. We love to travel. It's familiar to us. So, that part's all good. We actually left Perth because when we went full-time into the organization, quite honestly, we couldn't afford to live there anymore
Yeah.
on our non-for-profit salaries.
Yeah.
So we decided to move to Bali, where our prices have, or our cost of living has
Yeah.
been cut in half. So that's been really helpful, and we love it. We absolutely love it. We miss Perth, we miss our friends, but we do love Bali.
Yeah.
And then we're in Southeast Asia right now because we are checking in on some programs. We're launching a new partnership with Child's Dream, which is really exciting. They're a fantastic organization. We're back to Perth next week to pitch for a grant for one of our projects in Rwanda. And then we're back traveling all through Southeast Asia until the end of the year, doing a lot of impact reporting.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're on the road a lot. We really are, but it's actually my favorite part of what we get to do. Like, this is where my anthropology just kicks in, and I get to, you know, be in and amongst these amazing communities and meet the children and meet the moms and the dads that are just so excited to have opportunity coming in for their children. That bit to me is just so fun. And that is so much of what you guys are supporting, which is fantastic. Like, we've gone into communities where we've seen parent-teacher meetings in the village, and the excitement that it's normally the moms that go. It's usually the moms. And they're so interested. They really want to understand how this new education or this quality education is going to be implemented in their communities, how they can help, how they can get involved, and what it means for their children. And it's really awesome to see it.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Like, I think we're all really excited. And like I said, you know, we're going to follow you around, you know, and, you know, I really want the community, and I want everyone to really get to know you, and, you know, your guys' journey in Classroom of Hope, because education for me is so important, just so important. And I just feel that, you know, mums, women, and I know so many other people as well, but really have a lot to give in terms of, you know, the compassion, the patience, the you know, the kind of what's the word I'm looking, like the yearning for education and learning and developing, because that's what we, you know, it's nurture and nature. It's what we do with our children, you know, and you know, we just want to be able to give other children the opportunity as well. And yeah, I'm just so delighted that, you know, we've partnered with you guys, and totally believe in your vision and where you're going, and we're going to be following your journey. So I'm really excited.
Thank you so much. We are just so grateful that you've chosen us to partner with. We just think it's such a perfect connect, and we're just so grateful for your support.
That is awesome. That's awesome. Well, any last words you want to say for now to our community?
I'm excited for everything that's coming up with Motivated Mummy, and I'm just really excited to share this journey with all of these wonderful women.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Well, thanks so much for your time today, and I'm so glad the connection worked. You know, Australia to Cambodia, awesome.
Well done.
And we'll chat to you soon.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Claire.
Bye.
Bye.